Hello, this is Vincent Anderson of Ozarks History, and I trust everyone is doing well today. I just thought I'd just sit down and just have a little chat and visit with everyone, just kind of give an update on what's happening with Ozarks History. Our YouTube channel has actually taken off quite well, and I'm happy. I'm a little surprised, but I'm very well happy, and I'm thankful. And I want to thank everyone who has been subscribing to Ozarks History. And if you're not a subscriber now, you can go down below this video and click subscribe, and you get all the updates that we're doing right now on Ozarks History. On our subscriptions, about a month ago, we started out at about 34 subscriptions, and we've hung there for years. Good, faithful followers. And about 6 weeks ago, I started working on and started cranking out a lot of videos. And I have a lot of content I just have not covered on YouTube, and I decided, I think we're going to start doing that now. And so, in the past 28 days, we have gone from 34 subscribers to 334 subscribers. Thank you. Thank you so much. Also, in the past 28 days, we've had over 128,000 hits of people watching our videos across the world. And I'm going to just say I'm shocked and happy and pleased where all the subscribers and all the views are coming from. My number one country that's watching Ozarks History right now is India. Thank you, India. After that, it goes to Indonesia, the Philippines, Brazil, and then the UK. After that, we get the United States coming in there. And so thank you, United States, also. But I want to thank the countries that are not from around the Ozarks, that are learning about the Ozarks, getting our little shorts and snips of Ozarks history. I thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Also, with the increase of the channel, there's a lot more work going into it that we're doing. We have a studio that you've seen me teach in the studio. I thought I would just sit out here in the evening of the Ozarks and just visit with you for a moment. But we do have a studio, and we're going to go back in the studio, and we're going to keep working on the cemeteries that were once underneath Bull Shoals Lake, the cemeteries that were there that were disinterred and moved to other locations so the lake could go in. But in that whole mix there, we have had some interest also, and we now have 2 sponsors for Ozarks History. And I'll have those links down below. If you're needing a backpack, a sling bag, a fanny pack, some cooking utensils or cooking stove for camping, I have a wonderful company. I have a wonderful company that now is going to supply. And when you order and use our link, you get 15% off of your order, and shipping is free worldwide. No matter where you're at, shipping is free worldwide, and 15% off currently when you go through Ozarks History and you hit our link of sponsorship. The other one we have is called History Unboxed. If you're interested in history, if you're interested in American history, ancient history, Middle Ages, that curriculum is there. And so you can order history in a box, and you get it, and you can unbox your history. And so we're excited about that company also coming along with us. So Ozarks History is just not an entity unto itself, but we are linked out to other things and other parts and aspects of history. We all blend in together. As we're doing that, and we're talking about blending in history together, I have been working on the past videos when I sit down and teach in our studio. I've been working on neck discoids, and they are the tombstones that we have been working with, that we have discovered at the Hogan Cemetery, the Yoakum Cemetery, and the Yoakum Bend Cemetery. They are unique to those 3 cemeteries so far, as we're going through and doing a survey of what's actually was in those pictures, those neck discoids. And I am finding the link and connection not only here to the United States, where they migrated from Tennessee over to the Ozarks, but I'm finding the connections also through documentation and scholarship work on journals. And let me just show you a couple journals. This one is from the Journal of Historical Archaeology and Anthropological Sciences. Oh my goodness, can I speak tonight or what? It's been a long day, but glad I'm here. And this is on the 2 rare Anglesey discoid markers. And I'm going to leave a link in the video but down below to these two journals. And in the journals, there'll be PDFs that you can actually pull up. There'll be pictures in here, and they'll get some back history on discoids and the discoid markers. And this is actually what's going on with this one here. And we have another one here, and this is the past and present. It's Archaeology Ireland, 30 years of discovery. And they are going into neck discoids, and they're looking at the designs that are actually put on the discoids in Ireland. And there are 4 counties that they're now surveying in Ireland that have neck discoids. And so I think it's kind of unique that we have neck discoids here in the Ozarks, and that we have, they migrated from Ireland and Scotland, and we're also finding articles and references to Scotland. I think it's just really cool. I know some of the families, they're Scottish heritage, they got Irish heritage. And so to find all that, and those tombstones are like genetic thumbprints of where they came from, their heritage. And someone local, for all these discoids, someone local actually carved those out. I know that Abby Burnett, in her book, Gone to the Grave, she actually mentions and references neck discoids. And so they're also in, I believe, also in Madison County and Washington County, Arkansas. I'm just kind of calling that off the top of my head. If I mess that up, Abby, I am so sorry. So, well, I just want to step back and just say thank you, everyone, for what you have been doing and helping us and sponsoring us on subscriptions on Ozarks History. We are actually at 334, and our goal, we need to get over 1,000 subscriptions. And with that, we can start monetizing, and then we can start doing, I would like to do a little bit more traveling in this. And if we can get monetized, I want to go up and down the White River Valley and start showing some of the places where I have been studying. I've got old maps from the 1800s, 1885. I got some from 1860, 1870, all the way up to 1890s on the White River, the Buffalo River. Oh shoot, I even have them on the Current and the Black River here in the Ozarks. Osage River, that before they dammed that up, and we have Truman Dam. I want to go back and show those old maps and go back to that old history there and reference that. And if we can go ahead and get up to over 1,000 subscribers, we can help. That'll help us get monetized. That's why I'm also asking. We're getting sponsors, and I'm going to take the sponsors because I want to do some more on Ozarks history and just not work here in my yard or back in the backwoods back here or in a studio. I want to go down the river. I want to go down out on the prairies and the flats, up on the ridges, down the hollers. That's where we want to go. And so we want to take you there with Ozarks history. The last thing I do want to mention that we have started another channel with Ozarks history, and it's called Ozarks Stories. And I will leave a link down below. And Ozarks Stories, it's storytelling. And so the person I'm focusing on right now is Silas Turnbow. Silas Claiborne Turnbow. Silas Turnbow is from right up the road from up here near Three Brothers up to Pontiac, Missouri, Three Brothers, Arkansas, Pontiac, Missouri. He wrote hundreds of small stories and vignettes, 816 to be exact, 816 small stories about the Ozarks, about Civil War, about pioneers, about death, about love, tragedy. He went around, he walked the Ozarks, and he sat down with family members. He went with friends. He was he was a Confederate soldier, but he was a very friendly guy. After the war was over, he walked up and became friends. He had so many friends up in Missouri that were Union soldiers, and he writes down the stories verbatim as best as he could from those soldiers. And there's so much family history in there. Now, sometimes people have a problem with some of his stories, thinking that he's stretching the truth. But he wrote these in the late 1890s, basically, all the way up to early 1900s. And so what I've done, since I'm from the same neck of woods that he is from, I have narrated his stories. And so far, I have 100 stories narrated. And so we are putting those on YouTube. Some of the stories are 2 minutes long. Some of the stories are 6 or 7 minutes long. A couple of them are like 12 minutes long. Now, just something about his writing. His sentences can be like 12 lines long. And so I went through his stories, and I had to edit them a little bit so I could breathe and put some pauses in there, because if you listen to me, sometimes I will take a deep breath and I will just say as much as possible in that one breath, and then I have to hit the pause button and take a breath. He writes some very long sentences, but it's okay. The reason I did it, I come from the same neck of woods that he comes from. I went back and researched, and I tried to use the same vernacular as where he was from, the Pontiac, the Three Brothers, the Promised Land area. I used the same vernacular. So you're going to hear me a lot of times in there saying Missouri, not Missouri. The old-timers said Missouri around here in the Ozarks. So I say Missouri. And sometimes when I go to different places and speak and lecture, I will say Missouri, just for the sheer fun of just to see what people will do in their reactions. So that's what I do. But I went through and the family names, and I went back and did the research so I can say those. So I have recorded on audio 100 stories so far of the 816. I have now uploaded so far today. YouTube kind of throttled me down to only 10 videos a day on the new channel. And so I started that a few days ago. And today, for some reason this morning, they opened up the floodgates. And at lunchtime, I posted like 28. I was just uploading 28. The computer was just a whizzing through. And I right now have 50 stories that you can go and listen to all the way through number 50. And the first couple hundred stories, they're Civil War stories, folks. They're not fun stories. They're pretty sad, and they're pathetic, and sometimes they sound repeating, but there was a lot of violence in the Ozarks. There was a lot of violence in the Civil War. And he goes from both sides of perspective. He just doesn't only do Confederate side, he does the Union side. And I think at this time, just to hear them spoken. I work in the library, and I have people coming in wanting to read a book, and they'll read the book, but I wanted to put it on audio. I want them to hear how it sounds from the Ozarks. And I am not the most perfect on pronunciation of everything, but I think I have studied, and I think I've got the voice to do it. And if you listen to my voice, I have an Ozark accent. I've even taken voice lessons to get rid of it, but I still have that accent in there. And so I'm working all the way through, and I've got 100 recorded on audio, 50 are now uploaded on video. Next week I'll see if I'll put another 20 or 30 more up on the channel, and then we'll go on from there. But the link will be on there too. And when you go there and start listening, invite your friends. Say, hey, take a listen to this guy. This guy is a hillbilly from the Ozarks. This is what hillbillies sound like today. So I think you'll enjoy it. And I want to thank you very much for joining me today. I'm just sitting back here having a little chat in the Ozarks. Can you hear the tree frogs? I love this. This is a beautiful evening. The sun's setting and going down. I want to thank everyone for joining me here on Ozarks History. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, good Lord, for the opportunity to do this. I could not do this without the Lord's help. I'm just going to go ahead and say that right now. And I want to thank you for being a friend and coming along and joining me and subscribing to Ozarks History. I will see you very soon. Have a good day or a good night wherever you are at. Bye-bye.